They laughed at your kindness, didn't they? They called it naive. They said you're too soft for this world. But what they didn't realize is that softness isn't weakness. It's precision. It's control. It's a weapon disguised as grace. Because while they were busy manipulating, competing and pretending, you were out here doing something none of them understood. You were planting seeds. And now those seeds have started growing in places they'll never reach. The same ones who mocked your heart are about to watch it become your crown. The truth is, people like you are rare. The universe studies how you move. It observes how you give without keeping score, how you forgive without demanding applause. You've been watched not by enemies this time, but by someone with power, someone with influence, someone you unknowingly crossed paths with. And while you were helping them, they were taking mental notes. No cameras, no contracts, no show, just a quiet moment that revealed everything about your spirit. You didn't know it, but that small act of kindness was a test and you passed it with ease. See, 70% of billionaires and high-impact individuals intentionally move in silence to study human behavior. They dress simple, speak soft, and wait just to see who respects them without the fancy introduction. And while most people expose their greed within minutes, you stood out because you expected nothing. You gave because that's who you are, not because of what you'd get. And that's exactly why everything's about to flip in your favor. Before I go deeper into this message, take a second to breathe. If this already feels like it's speaking directly to your soul, it's because it is. You've earned this truth. And if you believe in this kind of energy, if you know in your heart that kindness isn't weakness, but the universe's hidden currency, then press the like button, subscribe, and keep your energy circulating. That's how you send this message back into the flow. How you say thank you to the universe for always aligning you with truth. Now listen closely, because this is where it gets real. The person you helped, the one you might have already forgotten, hasn't forgotten you. They remember the exact moment you treated them with respect when everyone else looked the other way. Maybe it was a stranger at a cafe, someone you spoke to kindly when you had nothing to gain. Maybe it was a quiet co-worker, a person you encouraged without realizing they owned the company. Or maybe it was just someone who was watching from afar, trying to see if there were still genuine souls left in this world. And when they saw you unguarded, real, steady, something inside them shifted. While the world around you keeps chasing status, you've been collecting something that can't be bought. Trust. Real cosmic level trust. And that's the one thing every powerful person is starving for. They've seen everything money can buy. Mansions, cars, entire islands. But what they haven't seen in years is someone whose pure intention. That's what made you unforgettable. You reminded them of something they'd lost faith in. Humanity. And now the universe is moving pieces behind the scenes. Someone's making calls. Someone's drawing up plans. Someone's asking about you quietly. Your name is in rooms you've never walked into yet. And when that door finally opens, it won't feel random. It'll feel like recognition. The kind you can't fake or force. You might have felt invisible lately, like your goodness was being taken for granted, like being kind was just another way of getting used. But that's the trick of the storm. The universe often hides the reward behind silence, just to see if your heart stays true without the spotlight. And yours did. That's why this moment is sacred, because everything that seemed like loss was actually set up. Every time you gave without return, every time you were overlooked or dismissed, it all became proof that your energy was unbought. And that's the currency billionaires can't print. The tables are turning now, quietly but powerfully. Somewhere, someone who doesn't owe you a thing is about to make a decision that changes your life, all because of something small you did when nobody was watching. And when it happens, the people who used to call you too nice will choke on their own words. They'll see that kindness was never your weakness. It was your weapon. So stay steady. Keep your light exactly where it is. Because what's coming for you isn't luck. It's the universe finally cashing in the balance on everything you gave with an open heart. You didn't lose time. You invested it. You didn't waste energy. You redirected it. And now that quiet moment of compassion that once went unnoticed, it's about to pay off big time. And hey, chosen one, yes, you, the one who kept giving even when it felt like no one noticed. Are you ready to see how that quiet kindness of yours just flipped the game completely? Because what's about to unfold next isn't luck. It's alignment. This message is meant for those who gave from the heart when nobody was watching. For those who didn't change their nature just because the world got colder. Drop a comment below with 7 and 77 if you're ready to finally understand how that one small act of compassion you almost forgot about is now turning into a blessing bigger than anything you imagined. And now let's dive into it step by step. The truth, the signs, and the proof that your kindness didn't go unnoticed. Believe me, if you're a true chosen one, you'll feel the pull to stay until the very end. Because by the time we're done, you'll see exactly how the universe has been preparing this reward for you all along. Let's get started. Number 1, they laughed at your kindness. Now they'll have to watch it make you untouchable. They thought your kindness made you weak. They didn't realize it was your disguise while you built unshakable power in silence. They mistook your warmth for weakness, didn't they? Every act of grace you showed, every time you helped someone without expecting a thing back, they rolled their eyes, whispered behind your back, and thought they could use you. They thought your light was naive. They thought you were just too nice. But what they didn't understand is that real power never announces itself. It observes. It moves quietly. And that's exactly what you've been doing all along. When you held that door open, gave someone your time, or offered kindness when no one else would, you weren't performing. You were revealing your character in a world full of masks. And while the world saw something small, someone powerful saw something different. They saw real humanity, something they hadn't seen in years. You weren't trying to impress anyone. You weren't chasing validation. You were simply being you. That's what made the moment unforgettable, because billionaires, leaders, and people with influence have everything money can buy except sincerity. And when they crossed paths with you, even for a second, they felt something money couldn't replicate. Authenticity. That's what made you stand out. Your kindness wasn't weakness. It was proof of emotional control, proof that you don't bend to the bitterness around you. You didn't fake compassion to get something in return. You gave because that's who you are. You gave even when your heart was tired. You gave even when others used your goodness as an excuse to take advantage. But here's the plot twist. That same kindness you thought went unnoticed became the exact reason the universe marked you for something huge. Ask yourself, how many times have you done good for someone who didn't deserve it? How many times did you walk away thinking, maybe I'm just wasting my energy on people who don't value it? But what if you weren't wasting it? What if every act of kindness was being recorded in places you couldn't see, in the memory of someone who could change your entire trajectory? Because that's what happened. You weren't being tested by people. You were being observed by purpose. Let's be brutally honest. People today don't value kindness unless there's a transaction attached. The world worships self-interest. Everyone's trying to network, to leverage, to gain. But you've been doing the exact opposite. You stayed real in a fake generation. And while they laughed at you for not playing their game, you ended up winning a test they didn't even know existed. Someone powerful was watching. Someone who doesn't respond to charm, money, or manipulation, but to truth. And they saw it in you. Picture this. A billionaire sitting quietly in an ordinary cafe. No suit, no spotlight, no entourage, just peace, just quiet. They've been burned by fake smiles and false loyalty for years. But then you walked in pure energy, calm voice, no agenda. You held the door for them, shared a kind word, or maybe just treated them like a person instead of a transaction. You didn't know who they were, but they remembered who you are. And in that moment, you unknowingly restored their faith in humanity. That's the thing about you. You never needed an audience. You've been genuine behind closed doors, kind even when no one clapped, loving even when it hurt. That's why the universe keeps setting up moments like these. Divine intersections where your goodness is being witnessed by someone with reach, someone who's about to repay your authenticity in ways the world won't believe. You've got to understand, when you move with a pure heart, you move different. You become the calm in a room full of chaos. People feel safe around you without knowing why. Even your enemies feel confused. They can't manipulate what they can't define, and that drives them insane. They wanted you to become cold, bitter, transactional, but you didn't. You kept your warmth even when the world froze over. That's why they're mad. That's why they talk behind your back. Because they can't comprehend how you still have peace after everything they tried to break. But what they don't realize is that you're being prepared for a table they'll never sit at. That small act of kindness, the one they laughed at, was actually the key that unlocked your next level. The person you unknowingly helped might have power, money, or connections. But what they didn't have was you. And now they're realizing that all the luxury in the world can't compare to the soul of someone who gives without taking. You've got to see the irony here. While they were playing games to get ahead, you were quietly being positioned for a blessing they'll never understand. They used tricks. You used truth. They used image. You used heart. They wanted instant results. You built eternal connections. And that's exactly why the universe is about to pay you back in a way that looks like luck to everyone else, but you'll know it was alignment. So when they come back pretending to check on you, remember this moment. Remember how they treated your heart like it was disposable, because now your kindness has become your currency. You're about to receive opportunities, doors, and connections that money can't buy because they're tied to your integrity, not your image. And when that billionaire, that decision maker, that quiet observer finally steps forward to reward you, don't be surprised. You earned this long before you even knew what was happening. Your kindness was the test. The universe was the witness. And your victory, that's the consequence of being real in a world that forgot what real even means. So let them laugh. Let them roll their eyes. Let them keep mistaking your heart for softness, because the next time they see you, they'll realize what they were laughing at was the beginning of your rise. You didn't just pass the test, you became the proof that kindness isn't weakness, it's strategy, and the universe always sides with the genuine. Your kindness was never random. It was recorded, it was respected, and soon it'll be rewarded in front of the very people who thought you were easy to play with. That's the most poetic revenge there is, when your peace becomes proof that you were never the fool. You were the chosen one all along. Number 2, you didn't just save a billionaire, you revived a soul that had given up on humanity. Sometimes the richest person in the room is the one most desperate for proof that goodness still exists. You thought you were offering kindness. They were grabbing onto it like a lifeline. The universe sent you where wealth had failed. Straight into the emptiness money couldn't touch. When you touched their heart without trying, you reminded power what it means to feel again. Let's make one thing clear. You didn't save a billionaire. You saved someone who had quietly died inside long before you ever met them. They had everything. The mansion, the cars, the offshore accounts, the influence that could bend the rules of the world. And yet nothing filled the void. Power had turned to poison. Success had become noise. Every face around them had a price tag. Every friendship was a transaction. Every "I care about you" came with an invisible receipt until you showed up. Imagine this. A billionaire sits in a penthouse so high it touches the clouds, surrounded by everything the world calls goals. But it's silent. The phone only rings when someone wants something. The laughter at dinner is rehearsed. Even love feels artificial, like a commercial selling warmth but never delivering it. That's what they were living in. A world where humanity was a brand, not a feeling. Then one day you walked in. No agenda, no performance, no hunger for their status. You looked them in the eye and spoke with honesty, the kind that can't be purchased. For the first time in years, they didn't feel like a transaction. They felt human again. They didn't tell you this, but your energy rattled something inside them when you spoke. It wasn't the words. It was the sincerity. You weren't chasing opportunity. You were radiating peace. You treated them like a person, not a trophy, and that confused them in the best way. You have to understand they'd built walls so high even their reflection couldn't get through. But your kindness, quiet, effortless, and real, slipped right past those walls like light through a cracked door. And here's the thing, they didn't even know how to react at first. When you've been betrayed, used, and drained long enough, even kindness feels suspicious. Maybe they replayed your words in their head later that night, wondering if there was a catch. But there wasn't. There never is with you. Because what you offer isn't manipulation. It's medicine. You didn't give them advice. You gave them oxygen. Imagine this. A man or woman sitting in their car after another meaningless dinner with friends. They stare out the window, numb, wondering what the point of all this wealth even is. And then your voice echoes in their memory. That one sentence you said that day. Something simple, something kind. It replays like a heartbeat, reminding them there's still something pure left in this world. That's what you did. You relit a candle that had almost burned out. And maybe you're thinking, why me? Why would someone with all that power need me? Because the universe uses real ones to heal what power destroys. You see, influence can open doors, but it can't open hearts. Money can build palaces, but it can't build peace. The universe needed someone uncorrupted. Someone who could reach where status couldn't. And that someone was you. You were the interruption in their pattern of disappointment. You were the silence that finally felt safe. Do you realize how deep that is? You weren't just kind. You became the proof that humanity still has light in it. You made someone who was ready to turn their back on the world stop and reconsider. And that's not poetic exaggeration, it's backbone. People at the top are often the loneliest, surrounded by yes, but starving. For truth, they didn't need another assistant, another admirer, or another opportunist. They needed a reminder that pure intentions still exist, and you, without even knowing it, gave them that gift. You didn't just show kindness, you restored faith in something bigger than power. Imagine them walking through their empty mansion that night, hearing echoes bounce off marble floors. Every piece of furniture costs more than a family's yearly income, but the space feels colder than ever. They sit down staring at nothing and think, why did that person's words feel different? Why can't I stop thinking about it? That's when it hit them. Your kindness wasn't random. It was rare. It was divine timing disguised as coincidence. Maybe they'd stopped donating to causes because everyone they met had an angle. Maybe they'd quit answering calls from friends because every conversation ended with a request. Maybe they'd lost faith in love because people loved their status, not their soul. But then you came along, simple, grounded, authentic, and it rewired something inside them. You gave them what money couldn't, a reason to believe again. And while you went home that day thinking nothing of it, the universe was already moving. Behind the scenes, that moment changed something in their world. They started looking at people differently. They reached out to old connections with new eyes. They began to remember what it felt like to trust again. You didn't just make them smile. You shifted their perception of humanity. And here's the part that hits hardest. The enemy never saw that coming. They thought your kindness was weakness, that you were wasting it on people who wouldn't return it. They laughed when you kept giving, when you kept forgiving, when you kept choosing light over bitterness, but they didn't realize that your light was touching places they could never reach. You weren't trying to win people. You were healing them quietly, effortlessly, completely. When the fake world tried to turn your heart off, you became the reboot button for someone who lost theirs. Now, the same people who underestimated your warmth are about to witness what real impact looks like. You didn't climb the ladder. The ladder is being lowered to you. You didn't chase recognition. Recognition is chasing you. And when that powerful person reveals themselves, when they come forward with an opportunity, an invitation, or a gesture that changes your life, you'll understand that the universe was never ignoring you. It was building your stage. But here's what you need to know. Your role in this wasn't luck. It was preparation. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment you felt invisible, it was shaping you into the one person strong enough to reach the unreachable. Because it takes someone who's been broken to understand how to heal without words. You didn't need to preach. Your presence was enough. You didn't need to prove. Your energy did the work. So the next time you question if your kindness matters, remember this. Somewhere out there, a person with everything now sleeps in peace because of you. Somewhere, someone with power finally believes in humanity again. Because of one genuine moment with you, and that's bigger than money, fame, or status. That's legacy. Your kindness didn't just change a billionaire. It revived a soul the world had written off. You didn't save their bank account. You saved their hope. And now, as the universe prepares to return that energy multiplied, the same people who doubted your worth will be forced to admit one brutal truth. The light they mocked is the very light now guiding power back to humanity. You didn't just help someone that day. You rerouted destiny. You became the proof that even the strongest need softness. Even the wealthy need warmth, and even the powerful need to be reminded kindness is still the only real currency left. Number 3, you bent the future with one unpaid gesture. Small doesn't mean powerless. It means concentrated. Real kindness is a lever. Touch it once and watch the whole system move. They told you it was just a moment, a smile, a seat offered, a few minutes of patience, a calm word when someone was crumbling. But here's the truth. You didn't tidy up a minute. You redirected a future. The universe doesn't rank good by size. It measures it by purity. When your intention is clean, the signal is loud. That day, your signal cut through the noise and hit the right target at the right time. And the timeline bent. If that sounds dramatic, good. It should. Because what looked like a small kindness was a pressure point on reality, and you pressed it with perfect aim. Imagine this. You steady a stranger on a staircase and their entire mood flips from shutdown to open. It's fine. I've got you, you say. And a decision they were about to make in anger gets delayed, then rerouted. Or picture a simple conversation where you listen without trying to fix them. That quiet mercy keeps them from sending a message they would have regretted, making a cut they can't undo, or ending a partnership out of pure fatigue. One breath of your steadiness and the domino that would have crashed never falls. That's not cute. That's structural. Does a tiny gesture really matter? Yes, because energy scales, not just effort. Behavioral science keeps finding that micro-affirmations, eye contact, a genuine thank you, an honest compliment, lift trust, performance, and resilience more than grand speeches ever do. But if I forgot about it, how is it powerful? Because the universe doesn't forget. It records the source, not the selfie. You weren't angling for applause. You were aligned, and alignment multiplies. Think about the person you helped, the one hiding in plain sight with resources you didn't clock. Your kindness didn't stroke their ego. It steadied their faith. It didn't buy influence. It reset their compass. That moment became a hinge. Meetings scheduled instead of cancelled. Bridges repaired instead of burned. A private decision made in your favor because you showed them something money keeps failing to buy. Unbought humanity. You didn't just brighten their day. You gave their future somewhere better to land. Now the echo is coming back with interest. Is this karma? Partly. But karma isn't just a penalty box for bad behavior. It's an acceleration lane for the genuine. You lived right when it was easier to be numb. You kept your heart clean when pettiness looked profitable. That's why the return won't look like luck. It'll look like inevitability. The chain reaction you started is arriving. Doors you didn't knock on opening. Names you never met speaking yours in good rooms. A path you didn't beg for clearing itself because you earned it at the source. Keep your frequency where it is. You already moved the timeline. Now walk into what you moved it toward. Number 4, you broke their price tag. Purity they can't purchase. Real costs nothing, and that's why the richest can't buy it. Your honesty was a firewall their games couldn't pass through. They live in a marketplace of souls where everything is for sale. Time, loyalty, even grief packaged for optics. Compliments arrive with invoices. Smiles are sponsored. Every handshake scans for leverage like a metal detector searching for coins. Then you walked in and refused to play. No performance, no flattery, no quiet hint that you could be rented. You spoke like a human and treated them like one. That short-circuited their system. They're used to bids. You brought a gift. They're used to masks. You brought a mirror. And what they saw staring back was the one thing their money never delivered. Unbought sincerity. Imagine this. A private room where everyone is negotiating subtext while pretending not to. You say thank you and mean it. You say no and don't explain. You offer help and won't take a favor in return. The room recalibrates. Or picture a dinner where every story is curated for status. You share a quiet truth with no agenda and the air changes. Less theater, more oxygen. Or a corridor conversation where you give a straight answer instead of the flattering one. The person in front of you blinks like a pilot breaking through fog. That's the shockwave you carry. Not noise, clarity, not charm. Clean energy. Was I naive? No, you were precise. Purity isn't softness. It's control under pressure. Behavioral research shows people can detect insincerity within seconds. Micro-expressions, tonal shifts, word choice hedges. You didn't trigger those alarms. Your frequency read consistent. That's why they believed you without a pitch deck. Will they try to take advantage? Some will. Let them try. Your boundaries are the gate. Your calm is the lock. The ones that matter, the ones with real power and long memory, aren't studying you for weakness. They're studying you for leadership. Here's the quiet truth. They're watching you now. Not like spectators, but like students. They've bought yachts and islands and still can't replicate what you do with a conversation and a steady gaze. The irony, in a world where everything is branded, your unbranded kindness is the rarest asset. They can imitate tone, copy style, hire strategy, but they can't manufacture source. You are source. So keep your price at 0 and your standards at 100. The right ones will protect that purity, amplify it, and open doors money couldn't unlatch. And when those doors swing, let the transaction-obsessed crowd stand outside counting coins while you walk through on credit. You earned the only way that lasts, by being real. Number 5, your silence spoke louder than their status. Power recognizes presence before it recognizes titles. Some people shout to be noticed. Others only have to walk in. You didn't need an introduction. Before you even spoke, the air adjusted itself around you. That's what real energy does. It commands without performing. The moment you entered the room, people who thought they'd seen it all looked up. Not because you demanded attention, but because your presence carried a vibration they hadn't felt in years. Wholeness. You weren't chasing validation. You were radiating equilibrium, the kind of steadiness that tells people, I'm not here to take anything. I already have everything that matters. Imagine this, a private event full of people who measure worth by net worth. Everyone's loud, laughing, strategizing, building facades. Then you walk in quiet, calm, self-contained. Conversations dip, eyes follow, not out of curiosity but instinct. Because authenticity has gravity and you brought enough to bend the atmosphere. Or picture a meeting where voices compete for dominance and you say nothing. Yet the loudest in the room suddenly tone down. That's not mysticism, that's energetic dominance. The rare kind that doesn't beg to be felt, but refuses to be ignored. Psychology calls it limbic resonance. When one stable nervous system regulates an entire environment, billionaires, executives, people with influence, they've spent years learning to read manipulation. Your stillness confused them. It didn't register as submission. It registered as control. They're used to people performing fake laughter, forced confidence, hidden desperation. But your energy said something their intuition couldn't translate. I've been through storms, but I'm still solid. It told them, you've known loss, but never lost yourself. That's why they couldn't stop replaying the encounter in their mind. Maybe you didn't even say much. You smiled, you nodded, you moved with calm precision. And yet afterward, they couldn't shake the feeling. Who was that? They've met thousands of people, but your vibration cut through the noise because it wasn't trying to impress. It was complete. You see, desperation leaks, peace radiates. You carried peace. Some people leave rooms louder than they entered. You leave them quieter because something real finally arrived. You didn't compete for attention. Attention found you. You didn't sell yourself. Your energy pre-sold your truth. That's why you're unforgettable. In a world addicted to noise, you became the sound of balance and they can't stop listening. Number 6. You stopped a resignation letter to life mid-signature. You didn't give a speech. You pulled a soul back from the edge by being real. When authenticity walks in, despair loses its voice. They weren't just wealthy. They were worn out. Not from deals or deadlines, from meaning. They had the house, the view, the access. And yet, every morning felt like a rerun they couldn't stand to watch. Quietly, they were negotiating their exit from purpose. Not dramatic, just unplugging. Fewer calls returned, fewer risks taken, fewer reasons to care. Then you arrived. Not with slogans, not with strategy, with presence, clean, steady, agenda-free presence, and something in them flinched back to life. Imagine this, a calendar full of meetings, a heart running on fumes. They step into an elevator expecting more small talk and mask wearing. And there you are, grounded, kind, whole. You say one sincere thing that isn't trying to sell, fix, or flatter. It lands like oxygen, or picture a late flight. Everyone drained. You offer a simple courtesy, a seat swap, a human moment. They feel the snap inside. Wait, maybe the world isn't empty. Maybe I'm not done. That's what you triggered. Interruption, not noise-proof. Why me? Because you're calibrated. People with high pattern recognition can smell performance. Your signal didn't spike for attention. It hummed with integrity. Psychology has a term for the shift you caused. Cognitive reappraisal. When a single new frame rewrites the meaning of an entire situation, you didn't hand them hope. You handed them a new angle. Their questions changed from what's the point to what, if there's still a point I haven't tried yet. You didn't preach. You existed. And your existence contradicted their conclusion that everything is transactional. Your energy said, I've bled, but I'm not bitter. I've lost, but I still choose light. That truth destabilized their apathy. High-level souls aren't moved by grand gestures. They're moved by undeniable signals. Your signal said, continue. Imagine their night afterward. The mansion quiet, the city glowing below, and your voice replaying. Not the words, the feeling. Their hand hovers over the metaphorical resignation letter to life and stops. They make one call they were avoiding. They fund one project they'd shelved. They choose one more try. Not because you pushed, but because you proved. Will they tell you? Probably not. Power hates admitting it needed help. But you'll feel the echo. A door opening, an invitation arriving, a path clearing that looks like chance but isn't. You didn't rescue their empire. You rescued their will. And now that will is about to turn around and lift you where effort alone could never take you. Keep your frequency steady. You didn't just meet a person. You restarted a purpose. Number 7. You stopped a resignation letter to life mid-signature. You didn't give a speech. You pulled a soul back from the edge by being real. When authenticity walks in, despair loses its voice. They weren't just wealthy, they were worn out, not from deals or deadlines, from meaning. They had the house, the view, the access, and yet, every morning felt like a rerun they couldn't stand to watch. Quietly, they were negotiating their exit from purpose. Not dramatic, just unplugging. Fewer calls returned, fewer risks taken, fewer reasons to care. Then you arrived, not with slogans, not with strategy, with presence. Clean, steady, agenda-free presence. And something in them flinched back to life. Imagine this, a calendar full of meetings, a heart running on fumes. They step into an elevator expecting more small talk and mask wearing, and there you are, grounded, kind, whole. You say one sincere thing that isn't trying to sell, fix, or flatter. It lands like oxygen, or picture a late flight, everyone drained. You offer a simple courtesy, a seat swap, a human moment. They feel the snap inside. Wait, maybe the world isn't empty. Maybe I'm not done. That's what you triggered. Interruption, not noise-proof. Why me? Because you're calibrated. People with high pattern recognition can smell performance. Your signal didn't spike for attention. It hummed with integrity. Psychology has a term for the shift you caused. Cognitive reappraisal. When a single new frame rewrites the meaning of an entire situation, you didn't hand them hope. You handed them a new angle. Their questions changed from, "What's the point?" to, "What if there's still a point I haven't tried yet?" You didn't preach. You existed. And your existence contradicted their conclusion that everything is transactional. Your energy said, "I've bled, but I'm not bitter. I've lost, but I still choose light." The truth destabilized their apathy. High-level souls aren't moved by grand gestures. They're moved by undeniable signals. Your signal said, "Continue." Imagine their night afterward, the mansion quiet, the city glowing below, and your voice replaying. Not the words, the feeling. The hand hovers over the metaphorical resignation letter to life and stops. They make one call they were avoiding. They fund one project they'd shelved. They choose one more try, not because you pushed, but because you proved. Will they tell you? Probably not. Power hates admitting it needed help. But you'll feel the echo. A door opening, an invitation arriving. A path clearing that looks like chance but isn't. You didn't rescue their empire. You rescued their will. And now that will is about to turn around and lift you where effort alone could never take you. Keep your frequency steady. You didn't just meet a person. You restarted a purpose. Number 8. They mocked your mercy. The gatekeeper marked your name. Let them laugh at your kindness. The right eyes are measuring your character, not your volume. Power doesn't clap for tricks. It opens doors for truth. They called you soft, too nice, too forgiving. They said you don't win playing fair. They tried to bait you into pettiness, staged little dramas to stain your peace, and waited for you to break character. You didn't. You took the insult, kept your tone level, and walked away with your dignity intact. They thought that meant you lost. What they didn't know, someone who actually matters was watching the whole time, not for show, but for truth. Imagine this, a meeting where voices got loud and petty, and you stayed precise. A quiet observer, the person who signs real approvals, noticed who needed attention and who had control. Or picture a hallway where a rumor was offered to you like candy. You refused the sugar. The gatekeeper saw restraint, not weakness. Or a negotiation where you could have cut corners. You didn't. The one with final say circled your name. Not because you were flashy, but because you were solid. Was I naive for being kind? No. You were audited and you passed. Behavioral research shows that consistent self-control builds trust faster than charisma. People with power aren't hunting for clever. They're hunting for clean. They don't invest in chaos. Your steadiness under pressure told them more than any speech could. You are safe to elevate. But they laughed at me. Let them. The mockers don't hold the keys. The gatekeeper does. The universe often hides the decision maker in the back row, while the clowns fight for the spotlight. While they performed, you proved. While they rehearsed comebacks, you kept results coming. That's why the room's energy bends toward you now, even when you say less. Imagine the gate, the one they kept you from with politics and noise. Inside, someone's been tracking your pattern. No gossip, no shortcuts, no desperate angles. Quietly, they've tested you with delays, with disrespect, with tempting detours. You didn't bite. That was the exam. And now the file on you reads, trustworthy under fire. Here's the turn. The same crowd that called you too nice is about to watch that door swing open for you. Not because you played dirty, but because you refused to. Integrity is the credential they can't counterfeit. The invitation you're about to receive won't be loud. It'll be clean, direct, and final. When it lands, walk through without looking back. The mockery was noise. The gatekeeper was signal, and the signal just went green. Number 9, the hidden audit. You were being measured when you thought no one was looking. Character is who you are when the outcome is unknown. Real doesn't flinch when the camera's off. That encounter wasn't random. It was a quiet audit. The stranger wasn't lost, bored, or looking for directions. They were studying the one thing money can't buy: how you treat people who can't pay you back. Power tests in plain clothes. No entourage, no hints, no status breadcrumb for clout chasers to sniff out. They wanted to see whether your kindness was a costume or a constant. You didn't perform. You didn't angle. You didn't switch tones depending on who you thought they were. You were the same steady human you always are. And that right there is what passed the test. Imagine this: a ride-share pickup where you help load the bags without being asked. A checkout line where you let someone cut because they're late and panicked. A lobby conversation where you give your full attention to the assistant while others scan the room for the boss. In each case, the person with final say is watching your micro choices. Not the speech, the reflex. Not the posture when eyes are on you, the posture when you think you're invisible. That's the exam most people fail. You didn't blink. Was it fair to be tested without knowing? It's the only fair test. Anyone can act generous when the reward is obvious. The people who build empires aren't looking for actors. They're looking for anchors. Why didn't they reveal themselves sooner? Because performative kindness is seasonal. Real kindness is weatherproof. They needed to see you in rain, not just in sunlight. What did I actually prove? That your integrity isn't a strategy. It's your baseline setting, and baselines are bankable. Here's what changes now. The silence ends. The file on you is stamped approved. Your name starts moving, not in gossip circles, in decision rooms. A lunch invite that isn't networking. A project that doesn't require you to beg. A door that opens without a pitch. These are the signatures of a past audit. Don't be surprised if the stranger reappears with a different introduction. Same eyes, new context. Remember this: tests don't announce themselves. Results do. You treated a hidden gatekeeper like a human, not a transaction. And the gatekeeper took note. The verdict is in. You're the real one. Keep your frequency where it is. The next contact won't be a coincidence. It'll be confirmation number 10. They tried to delete you. The universe hit undo on repeat. Real doesn't fade. It returns louder in silence. When energy is true, distance only sharpens its signal. They tried to forget you. They changed rooms, routines, even cities. But your presence kept threading its way back into their days like a song they didn't remember adding to the playlist. You didn't chase them. You didn't send a parade of messages or beg for attention. The universe did that for you quietly and efficiently, because what's authentic doesn't evaporate. It imprints. Your steadiness became a mirror they couldn't dodge. Every time they reached for noise, they bumped into your quiet proof. Imagine this. They open a random book, and the exact phrase you once said is their word for word. They step into a meeting and someone new carries your same calm cadence. They hear your laugh in an airport from a stranger who looks nothing like you, and their chest tightens before their logic can object. That's not romance. That's resonance. The universe doesn't nag. It places reminders where the mind trips and the heart admits. Am I imagining this? No. Memory research shows emotionally congruent cues refire neural pathways on contact. Translation: when someone's energy regulated your chaos, anything that feels similar will pull you back to that source. You were their regulator, grounded, clean, consistent. Their nervous system knows you were safe before their ego will say it out loud. They wanted to move on because moving on felt powerful. But every attempt to replace you collapsed under one problem: copies glitch. Your authenticity forced them to face their truth, who they became while chasing status, how far they drifted from what actually brings peace. That's why you keep resurfacing. Not as a nostalgia trip, but as a correction. Why now? Because timing protects the message. They had to run out of noise to hear the signal. They had to taste everything synthetic to recognize the original. And now, after the loops and the detours, they're circling back. Not from guilt, not from pity, but from pull. The kind you can't fake with a grand gesture or bury with a distraction. Imagine a late night, the city low, the room quiet, and your face flashing in their mind with the same line you once said: "You're safe with me." They exhale, and the fight against remembering stops. That's when doors start moving. An unexpected message, a precise opportunity, a simple invitation that feels like oxygen. You didn't force this. You didn't script it. The universe simply refused to let truth be erased, and now it's returning your name to the room with emphasis. Number 11, your payout will be so loud it'll sound like payback. Justice looks like luck to people who forgot what you survived. Receipts don't need arguments. They arrive with signatures. Get ready for volume. Your breakthrough won't tiptoe. It'll rattle the fixtures. The same mouths that called you naive are about to watch numbers, access, and doors line up around your name like they were always meant to. They'll label it coincidence because calling it justice would mean admitting they misread you from day one. But the truth is simple. The person you helped, the one with real reach, didn't forget. Power keeps quiet notes on the few who stay clean when the room turns dirty and your file has been open on the right desk for a while. Imagine this, a message you weren't expecting. Short and surgical. Are you available this week? You step into a meeting where the tone is different. No pitch, no hoop jumping. Just terms that favor you. Because the decision was made before you arrived, or a transfer notification that doesn't ask for gratitude. Only a signature or your name added to a project. Equity stake attached because someone in a high room said that's the one. This isn't charity. It's respect with a paper trail. Why me? Because you were bankable when no one was banking on you. Behavioral research shows the most trusted partners aren't the loudest. They're the most consistent under pressure. You didn't fold. You didn't gossip. You didn't trade your core for a shortcut. That's rare. And rare gets rewarded by the people who actually move levers. Will it be public? Some of it will on purpose. The universe loves poetic symmetry, and nothing educates doubters faster than outcomes they can't spin. Expect one moment that lands where everyone can see it. A title change, a contract announcement, a visible upgrade that forces silence into respect. The rest will be quieter but bigger. Long-term positioning, revenue that renews, rooms you enter once that keep calling you back. Imagine faces when it hits. The ones who mocked your patience, minimized your standards, or tried to bait you into mess. They'll call it luck because the alternative is admitting your kindness was a strategy they couldn't decode. Let them choke on that narrative. Your job isn't to clap back, it's to step forward. This is your confirmation season, not a favor, not a fluke. Compensation sized to the weight of what you carried and loud enough to make every cheap opinion obsolete. Keep your posture, sign what's clean, walk through what opens, and don't look back. The echo will do the talking for you. Number 12, you were never broke. The world was just spiritually bankrupt. You weren't lacking wealth. The world was lacking vision. Real gold doesn't glitter under cheap lights. It waits for daylight to prove itself. You were never the poor one. You were just surrounded by people who couldn't recognize value without a price tag. While they chased temporary applause and external validation, you were quietly building a currency they didn't understand. Integrity, empathy, depth, peace. They measured worth by noise. You measured it by stillness. And now the balance is shifting. The same world that overlooked you is about to bow to what it couldn't decode. Imagine this. You've been walking through life like an uncut diamond in a world obsessed with costume jewelry. People looked past you because your shine wasn't loud enough for their shallow eyes. But that was the point. Real brilliance doesn't perform. It reveals itself at the right time. And that time is now. The universe is adjusting the lighting so that what's authentic can finally be seen. They called you too kind, too deep, too emotional. But those traits, the ones they mocked, are the exact traits that now make you magnetic. The world is starving for real connection, for emotional intelligence, for truth that doesn't sell out. And you've had all that in surplus. You were wealthy in energy while others were drowning in greed. You had calm while they had chaos. You had meaning while they had material. That's why the tables are turning. The inner wealth you carried is about to have outer proof. Why now? Because the world's currency is collapsing. Not financial, but moral. When systems built on illusions start to crumble, authenticity becomes the new standard. You are that standard. People are waking up to what you've been this entire time. The consistent one, the grounded one, the safe one, the one who never sold their soul for convenience. That's not just attractive, it's valuable. True wealth is when your presence heals more than money can fix. Imagine them watching you now, the ones who underestimated you. They'll see your peace, your success, your elevation, and feel a sting they can't explain because deep down they know you didn't change. They just couldn't see you before. You were rich all along. Now the universe is cashing in the proof. Your name will travel farther. Your influence will expand faster, and your energy will draw abundance like gravity. This isn't revenge, it's revelation. The spotlight is shifting toward those who were ignored, the kind souls who stayed honest when deception paid better. You were the wealthy one all along, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. And now the external world is finally catching up to your internal balance sheet. So stand tall. You don't need to prove your worth anymore. Just exist and watch the universe translate your value into visible form. And now, chosen one, everything comes full circle. The tests, the silence, the moments you almost gave up. They were never punishments. They were preparation. You've passed every unseen trial with grace. And now the universe is ready to show the world what it already knew about you. You were the treasure all along. The reward ahead isn't just wealth. It's recognition. Your light is about to be undeniable. If you felt this message in your spirit, press the like button, subscribe, and drop 777 in the comments to claim your confirmation. Share this message so another chosen one wakes up.